All right, folks, on we go again today. Here we are in 27, and the date today is March 9th, 2023. We're marching right ahead here in the book of Jeremiah. We're now in chapter 27. And we have the battle of the yokes here, okay? It's pretty interesting. Under the type of bonds and yokes, he prophesieth the subduing of the neighbor kings unto Nebuchadnezzar. He exhorteth them to yield and not to believe the false prophets. The like he doeth to Zedekiah. He foretelleth the remnant of the vessels shall be carried to Babylon, and there continue until the day of visitation. Okay, it says, in the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, came this word unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus saith the Lord to me, Make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck. 3, and send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah, king of Judah. For it says, and command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto your masters, I have made the earth, the man and the beast that are upon the ground, by my great power, and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me, or good to me, or necessary unto me. In 6, and now have I given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him. Okay, you see the Moabites there. They give in. Tyre, that's smashed. The port city is smashed. So a lot of these people saddled up in the armies and helped him, helped Nebuchadnezzar as he instructed him. You either give up or else. Okay, so they helped come against Jerusalem down the road here. So there's that. And like I said, just because Nebuchadnezzar's got this, it's being done for a purpose. And that's another thing. No matter who it is, they don't have to be some godly person. It can be, let's say you got a deputy sheriff up the road, and God can use him for God's will. Let's say the deputy sheriff doesn't really fear the Lord. However, the circumstances, the heart of the sheriff is made by the Lord, and he does God's will, and he don't even know he's doing it. Well, here we got sheriff of the world, okay? And he's not a good guy. He's an Antichrist figure. But he's being used to punish the lands. You understand that these are idolater places, all of them, including Jerusalem. There's no land here that he's getting that is not full of idols. Does that mean that Babylon is good? No. Babylon's the center of all of it, and Babylon itself will crumble under the split empire and then decay. And the religion will be upped with Mystery Babylon, which will include all of these lands, either physically or spiritually. They will all come back with the Mystery Babylon in our time, including having Babylon in our pocket and the world's greatest embassy there today. Even though it's not the great military power, it's still a UNESCO site for idolatry. It just is. Now, you can go there and tour it as a tourist, yes. But what happens at midnight, you won't be part of, I hope. And it's used for idolatry because of the ley lines, etc., in the porthole. Portholes and ley lines go together, by the way, folks. And we're going to do a special on that, on the opening of the gates, opening of the portholes in the world. We're going to run a special on that, okay? We've had a request. We're going to do it. All right, so there's that. So, the Lord there in 5, I have made the earth, the man, and the beast, and that's Jesus Christ, that are made upon the ground by my great power and by my outstretched arm. Well, that's Jesus Christ, we know from Scripture, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me. And now have I given it all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him. And all nations shall serve him, and his son. Okay, well, Belshazzar didn't last but, three and a quarter years? A little over 3 years did he last there before the handwriting was on the wall. And the reason we know that is because of the prophecies in the first and second and third year of Belshazzar. Okay, so, and his son, and his son's son. See, and just because Belshazzar went down doesn't mean the bloodlines went away. So we're talking about with Antichrist bloodlines. These estates go all the way back to Babylon. Here it's verified in 7. Look at this. Now, Nebuchadnezzar, he went down hard. Belshazzar went down hard. He was slain right there while he was mocking God with the vessels out of the house of God, and his son's son, okay? And it never went away. You're talking about the Habsburgs. You're talking about the great, like Nero, who was bloodline went on to be involved in religions around the world. The Habsburgs. These bloodlines went on. Now, what makes it difficult to trace them is their changing of their names. Remember, their gods change names. Their gods marry their nieces. Their gods infect other species. So change DNAs, okay? So they imitate their gods, like you are supposed to be Christ-like, ladies and gentlemen. So they want to imitate their gods. So on they go with their unholy bloodlines here. I hope that makes sense. Did I explain that okay? Okay. It says, and all nations, wait a minute. Okay, 7. And all nations shall serve him, that's Nebuchadnezzar, and his son, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come, and then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. 8. And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation shall I punish, saith the Lord, with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand. Now, when I'm talking about these people mingling seed with spiritual seed, let's look at, Nebo. He's named after the great god man Nebo, and that is the star Sirius, Nibiru, okay? And then Zar, you see, that's Nebo, god man. And the fact is that Nebo is one of the great fallen angel Christ, little C figures. He had 6 toes. Now, how do I know that? Because of the sketch. It's an original sketch off of the wall there in Babylon of Nebo, and of course named after the star Sirius, which is Lucifer. But he was the great interpreter of symbols there in Nineveh. So Nineveh and Babylon were yoked religiously there in the great round room where Sennacherib had the library of all the wisdom of the world there, okay? And Nebo was over that. Now, in this sketch, and I used to put it on the CDs when we were doing CDs for people, and draw this sketch that really came from the London Museum. We'd re-sketch it on here. And he has the 6 toes, all right? And he's making a Kabbalist hand gesture, all right? He has the Florida list, that's called. It's a sacred flower. He makes this hand gesture, and he has the chopped off beard, the one that God said, don't chop your beards like that to the children of Israel. It's quite a sketch here. The long-haired king. And one of his feet is sticking out, the other's under the skirt, you see. So it's a partially exposed religion and partially hidden. But of interest is the 6 toes, which means fallen angel blood. And that's who Nebuchadnezzar is named after. So when I say these people dabbled in DNA, I'm not flapping the gums. They believe in that. All right, they just do. All right, so on we go in 9. It says, therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. Okay, dreaming, that's the dream state that they get into to contact the other dimension, to talk to the deities from the other side, many times through a porthole. Divination is the same thing, falling into a trance and letting the spirit talk through you. This is all involved with the fake prophecy. Enchanting is the same type of witchcraft. Sorcerers, you're emptying yourself. You're using potions to fall into the trance. You're falling into that trance, and then to allow the spirit to talk through you, they're saying. Okay, so all these people are lying to their people, see? And many times the spirit itself will be lying to them. That's one thing about it. You cannot believe the fallen angels. They lie half the time. And many times they give you some true prophecies because they can see down the road a little further because they're out of time. And yet they trick and trap people. 10, it says, for they prophesy a lie unto you to remove you far from your land, and that I should drive you out, and ye should perish. So you see how the prophet's being lied to, and he's lying to them, and you're going to be driven out of your land, because if you didn't submit, Nebuchadnezzar would drag you away. Okay, in 11 it says, but the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him, those will I let remain, still in their own land, saith the Lord, and they shall till it and dwell therein. Okay. 12. Now here we're talking to Zedekiah in 12. And he is the replacement there of Jehoiakim. So you see how this bounces around here. In 12 it says, new paragraph, I spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live. So he said the same thing to him, and he ought to know that, right? Why will ye die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, as the Lord hath spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? 14, it says, therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. For I have not sent them, this is the Lord speaking, saith the Lord. Yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. In 16, also I spake to the priests and to all this people, saying, thus saith the Lord, hearken not to the words of your prophets that prophesy unto you, saying, behold, the vessels of the Lord's house shall now shortly be brought again from Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. So you see how this is now in Zedekiah's time. You see, and during Zedekiah's reign, all the vessels weren't gone. Many of the vessels were left. Now, a lot of them were gone. And here the false prophets are saying they're coming back any time now. And that's a lie. In 17 it says, hearken not unto them, serve the king of Babylon and live. Wherefore should this city be laid waste? Question mark. In 18, but if they be prophets, and if the word of the Lord be with them, let them now make intercession to the Lord of hosts, that the vessels which are left in the house of the Lord, and in the house of the king of Judah, and at Jerusalem, go not to Babylon. Okay, what's that mean? Like I said, some of them were left there. But the second time he has to come back and lay siege for a year, it gets tore up good. And here's the pillars. That's another concern. In the sea. Okay, we're going to get the details here on that. In 19, it's a new paragraph. It says, for thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the pillars, and concerning the sea, and concerning the bases, and concerning the residue of the vessels that remain in this house. Okay? See, he left all that, folks. He left all that so that they could go on. All they had to do is stay under his yoke, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took not, when he carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from Jerusalem to Babylon, and all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. It says, yea, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain in the house of the Lord, and in the house of the king of Judah and of Jerusalem. They shall be carried to Babylon, and there shall they be until the day that I visit them, saith the Lord. Then will I bring them up and restore them to this place. Okay, so you see the bloodline there as they were explaining it to me just now again. And there it is. And see, it wasn't carried away the first time completely. And then now it's going to be. When he has to come back and lay this siege against them, the pillars, the sea, the rest of it's all going, and then the temple really gets tore up here. Okay, so if we want to see more of this, we can go to 2 Kings, let's see, 24, 14, and 15, according to the translators. Kings 25, 13, Chronicles 36, 18, 2 Chronicles 36, 22, chapter 29, 10. Okay? All right, we'll see everybody in chapter 28. Bye-bye.